On the morning of August 11th, 2025, New Delhi's air crackled with tense anticipation as hundreds of opposition lawmakers, united under the India bloc, set out on a defiant march toward the Election Commission of India. At the heart of their grievance lay the special intensive revision of voter rolls in Bihar, a sweeping and controversial update that critics say could disenfranchise millions of citizens ahead of key elections. The protest, bold in its intent and symbolic in its location, quickly became a test of India's democratic resilience under the shadow of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's increasingly authoritarian grip on power.
बंद करो बंद करो
Gathering at Parliament House, prominent leaders such as Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Vadra, Mallikarjun Kharge, and Akhilesh Yadav walked shoulder to shoulder, carrying placards and chanting slogans that accused the ruling BJP of orchestrating vote theft. Police, citing security concerns, intercepted the march before it could reach the Election Commission's headquarters. In a rapid escalation, 320 opposition members were detained, bundled into buses, and taken to temporary holding areas. Hours later, they were released, but the message from the authorities was unmistakable: dissent would be tightly controlled. Rahul Gandhi, visibly unshaken, addressed the media upon release. "This fight is not political. It is to save the Constitution," he declared, stressing the sanctity of one person, one vote as the cornerstone of Indian democracy. The protest was mirrored across several states. At the same time, leaders in Telangana condemned what they called a Gujarat-style crackdown in the capital. The symbolism was clear. The battle for electoral fairness had become a nationwide resistance. The August 11th confrontation is part of a broader pattern that has unfolded during Narendra Modi's decade in power. International observers have noted a steady erosion of democratic norms in India. Reports from the VDEM Institute and the Economist Intelligence Unit have downgraded India from a flawed democracy to an electoral autocracy, citing weakened institutional checks, political interference in the judiciary, and the shrinking space for civil society. Press freedom has also suffered a steep decline. India, once hailed as having one of the most vibrant media landscapes in the developing world, has dropped from 133rd in 2016 to 161st in the 2023 World Press Freedom Index. The government's frequent use of sedition laws, anti-terrorism legislation, and defamation charges has had a chilling effect on journalists and activists alike. Simultaneously, the rise of gaudy media, outlets seen as uncritically amplifying government narratives, has distorted the public conversation, limiting citizens' access to independent and critical information. For opposition leaders, these developments are not isolated incidents, but interconnected symptoms of an increasingly centralized and intolerant governance style. The detention of elected lawmakers for peacefully protesting electoral policy reinforces fears that political dissent is being treated as a threat to state stability. The events of August 11th were not just about Bihar's voter rolls. They were about the very soul of Indian democracy. The sight of Rahul Gandhi and other opposition leaders being detained in the heart of the capital is now etched into the country's political memory, a stark reminder that democratic institutions can be hollowed out without a single law being broken. As Narendra Modi's India moves further toward centralized control, where the ruling party's interests often overlap with the state's machinery, the opposition's defiance takes on historic significance. The coming months will reveal whether these protests ignite a broader movement to safeguard the Constitution, or whether India's democracy will continue its slow, steady march toward authoritarianism.